So most of the time, the sister you've called the narcissist is one of three things. One is she's dealing with her own unresolved relationship with your parent, right? Many people who cannot help with caregiving cannot help because the relationship with the parent was hard. Maybe the parent was emotionally unavailable. Maybe there was favoritism, right? Maybe she was the difficult child and your mother was harder on her than on you. Maybe she felt overlooked. Maybe she felt blamed. Maybe she was the one who fought with your mother more, and now her mother is dying and she doesn't know what to do with that. She is not absent because she is heartless. She is absent because the relationship was complicated, right? And now it's that too is dying and she doesn't have the tools to deal with it. This isn't narcissism. This is unresolved grief or unresolved childhood injury or, just complicated love. And it is far more common than narcissism. Two, she may be operating in a different family role. Remember last week, the 5 roles? She's probably the disappearing sibling or the dependent child or even the critic, right? The disappearing sibling does not show up because the system trained her to assume you would, right? Someone would. She has not made an active choice to abandon your parent. She is kind of fallen into a role that was always going to be hers. The critic doesn't help because criticizing is easier than confronting her own absence, right? The dependent child does not help because she is still being cared for by the parent, not the other way around, right? None of these are narcissism. They are role adaptations. They are predictable. They are also changeable. Because if you change the system, like we talked about last week, right? 3, she's just selfish. And look, selfishness is not a clinical diagnosis. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the correct one. Your sister might be a selfish person. She might have always been a selfish person. She might have grown up self-centered and never grown out of it. That is real. That is painful. And that is a person you might have to limit your relationship with, right? But it's not a personality disorder. It is a character issue.